just seen is the right way to dispatch one of our mainline sets. It looks simple, and to all intents and purposes it is simple, but its sheer simplicity can catch you out, especially when something goes wrong or your attention is distracted. So let's look at it again, this time in detail. There are three key staff involved in train dispatch: the person in charge of the platform, the guard and the driver. Now it may be that there's an additional dispatch assistant on the platform, sometimes called a buddy. Okay, let's get started. We've got 8 minutes to our booked departure time. The person in charge of the platform, with the assistance of the buddy, must now complete the pre-departure checks. Begin by checking that both the driver and the guard are present. Check that any not to be moved boards have been removed. Check that the train's tail lights are correctly lit. Check that there are no other known problems which might prevent a right time departure. Okay, you've done all that. Now walk forward along the platform, closing open doors and drop light windows. Make sure that no doors are obstructed. Check that the driving van trailer or DVT doors are closed and locked. Now, most importantly, check that the platform starting signal is showing a proceed aspect. There are 3 possible ways of doing this, so let's take a moment to look. First is the off indicator. Second is the banner repeater at 45 degrees. Third, the signal itself, showing a proceed aspect. You must recheck that the starting signal is still off at each stage of the departure procedure. Don't take this for granted. The signaller might replace the signal to danger for some reason unknown to you. It's now 1.5 minutes to departure, time to whistle up, advising customers that the train is ready to go. If people are still walking along the platform intending to board, ask them to join the train by the nearest available door. You must now ensure that all doors are properly closed and secured. This must be done thoroughly. No doors must be left on the catch. Now operate the train ready to start switch. With 60 seconds to go, the platform barrier closed and all customers intending to travel aboard the train, it's time to commence the dispatch procedure. Train hosts should join the train, closing the door behind them. The guard, that's me, must be stationed at the CDL panel nearest the buffer stops. If any last-minute passengers turn up, I'll ask them to board the train through this door, rather than continuing along the platform. I've got my key on, and the CDL panel is active. The person in charge of the platform has gone to the train dispatch control panel near the barrier, and the assistant is near the 3rd car from the front of the train. We all check that the platform starting signal is still showing a proceed aspect. Then the person in charge gives the first station work is complete signal, holding up a dispatch baton or a white hand lamp. I now operate the CDL and engage the central locking. Then step out onto the platform to check that all doors are closed and obstruction lights are out. The person in charge rechecks the signal, rechecks the doors, then gives the second station work is complete signal to the guard. Then rejoin the train and closing the door behind me, give the ready to start signal to the person in charge on the platform. Only after receiving my green hand signal, the person in charge inserts the key in the control panel and operates the RA switch. The RA indicator adjacent to the signal now illuminates and the driver releases the brake and takes power. The train is safely dispatched on time. I'll remain at my window until the entire train has cleared the platform, and the person in charge must similarly observe the entire departure. Before we move on, I just want to say a few words about lamps and battens. Hand lamps must be in good working order, be capable of displaying a red, green and white indication, and must have a fully charged battery. Battens must be properly presented, held above the head in a vertical position, and must be clean. What we've looked at so far is the correct procedure when everything goes as it should, but sometimes things don't go as they should. If something untoward happens on the platform once the train has started away, raise both hands above your head and blow your whistle to attract the guard's attention. I will give one on the bell, or I'll apply the emergency brake if possible. If the TRTS button fails, use the platform telephone to contact the signaller and report the fault. Now observe the platform starting signal until it shows a proceed aspect. Don't forget to report the fault to your manager. If the signaller advises you that for whatever reason the platform starting signal can't be cleared, contact your buddy, who should then go immediately to the driving cab and tell the driver to make contact with the signaller. Once the signaller and the driver have reached a clear understanding about passing the signal at danger, you'll be authorised to dispatch the train. Make sure that all concerned are clear about the method of dispatch, because the RA indicator won't be available. If the RA indicator fails to light, the person in charge of the platform must inform the signaller. Use the platform telephone. The method of dispatch must now be agreed between the driver, myself, the person in charge and any assistants on the platform. Here's what to do. I display the green hand signal to the person in charge. Then give the driver the ready to start signal on the bell or buzzer. 2 rings. The driver checks that the starting signal is showing a proceed aspect, then returns my signal. 2 rings. The train can now be started. Although unlikely, it could happen that the RA indicator fails and the train is being worked by a locomotive or even the Thunderbird, which is not fitted with bell or buzzer communication. If this does happen, the train will be dispatched by hand signals alone. The safe and punctual dispatch of our mainline train sets is of primary importance, so take time to read and learn the procedures outlined in the operational instructions. Thanks for watching.